Hello, welcome to this video explaining today to the school admins and supervisors how to configure the supervisors roles within IMT Lazarus. First of all, we go to our admin menu, we go to our supervisors, and we are going to choose here roles. We have here a list of roles already created for this explaining purposes. We are going to our create new screen. The first thing that we have to do is assign a name of the role that we want to establish to configure for the supervisors. Uh, at the first, for school purposes, there has to be at least one supervising role that is going to be for teachers. If IMT Lazarus is also used by the families having children at your school, they could also have, through your help, through your configuration, a family role. And of course, the actions are going to be different. The range of interaction, as you all know, is going to be absolutely different. So within the school schedule and school calendar, only the actions, supervisions, monitoring and accessing to all types of reports is going to be just for teachers or school staff within the school and school schedule and school calendar. And outside of that time frame is going to be the families interacting. That means supervising, monitoring, and having access to the set reports. So it's important to have this clear at the beginning. So as we were explaining, we are going to give a name and a description if we want to the role we are creating. We are going to choose the name of our entity, that means the name of our school, and we are going to choose the level of the role, in this case supervisor. And within level we have a type. We have basically two types. We can, as we were just explaining, we can choose the role to be as a teacher or as a family. We are going to choose to pick for this explanation teacher. And now here we are going, if we are talking about the teacher, we should, in most of the cases, click on the Google Classroom, because many teachers use Classroom for their dynamic groups in order to supervise, show the personal data or not in some for some privileges of supervisor roles. We may intend not to have access to personal data, just so the info of the students will be anonymized and with no sense, just for statistic purposes or to fix anything within the IT teams or whatsoever. But we can always leave it in blank, or click it in here to have access to the personal data. Of course, if we were talking about families, as in here, we shouldn't, in most of the cases, click the Google Classroom. Of course, the relation to all groups, it may be necessary as well as to all devices or not, depending again of the privileges of the supervising role. We may click it or not, as you have seen. And here we have a wide list of and range of actions that these supervisor roles we are configuring may view, that means just have access to, or modify, that means interact with and change how, if it's going to be able or not to interact with. And in here we have, as we were saying, we have a permanent policy, that means for the one that applies for the school, or regarding then internet control. We may have internet control for the entire school, or our own personal filtering, or our own personal whitelist. The same apply for tasks. with the same apply for web reports by device or web reports by groups. Of course, for instance, in this case, talking about families, web reports by group shouldn't apply in most of the cases, definitely. Then we have GPS location, we have the interaction with the camera in order to change it or not, in order to hide the icon whenever we need it, and then certain, of course, applications within Apple, Android, and Windows, or personal applications within Apple and Android. The same for YouTube or personal YouTube filtering and screen transformation, as you all know. And then we have also visualization that applies for the activity searches and navigation and browsing reports. Meeting side, of course, this shouldn't apply for families. Supervising roles, this is for virtual classes, as you all know. And then specific features for IMT Win, IMT Chrome, IMT Android, and IMT iOS, and the same for the information. Then the last but not least, because it's really important, is assign these supervising roles to the calendars. That means that of course we, in order to determine, as we were talking at the beginning, who can do what and definitely when. The when is going to be, as you know, determined within the configuration of a schedule and school calendars. So in here we have to choose which is going to be the school calendar in which the data access and the task execution is going to be performed or not. When talking about the teachers as supervising roles, we should choose our entity and just that's all. Then apply all the changes at the end. But if we were talking about families, of course, then we have to choose when is not the school calendar. So we should pick the school calendar of our children and click outside the schedule. And here the same for the tasks execution. So families could do interact, supervise, monitor, and have access to the info outside of the school calendars, as this is our scope and range of interaction. That's all, as you see, simple, easy, and very flexible, as all IMT Lazarus features and functions. Sorry, again, as always, follow us on our social and professional networks, and see you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.